Welcome back to this week's episode of Hotter Than Health. My name is Eliza Gelman. Welcome, welcome. We are a podcast that focuses on wellness, nutrition, holistic health, fitness, workouts, all the good things. We have provocative conversations. We have hard-hitting topics and experts. And really, this is just a podcast where I selfishly want the information and you're getting it too. Today, we are covering 3 different topics. One of them is, do I actually need more protein? And how am I actually getting it? I know this is a topic we have covered ad nauseum, but it is something that continues to come up. And I think that as food trends change, as the world of wellness changes, people have different preferences. So I thought this was a good time to refresh a couple of examples of what I eat in a day, or not even me in particular, but what are some ways to eat throughout the day to get balanced protein. If you are looking at boosting metabolism, working on satiety and fullness, having balance, not having your sugar spike or your insulin spike, and really not letting caffeine affect you as much, overall working on rebuilding muscle repair. So I wanted to walk you through that. The next is one minor tweak that has really, really helped my mindset lately. And when I tell you, it's been a bit of a roller coaster over here in my world. I do mean that. And I think that even just this one small tweak has been incredibly impactful. Following that up, I wanted to give one, again, this is not medical advice. Talk to your doctor. One supplement that I have been taking that I think has also been helping my mindset. Cool. Let's get into it. We're starting off with the protein conversation, and let's do a basic breakdown for the average female who, and again, you guys, I'm not a math girly, so we're just using really basic numbers here. We are using very basic numbers. I'm not like, these are not actual weights that I'm saying you should be. So let's just get that clear. But back to basics, protein, it's the building block, and a lot of people know that they need it, or they feel like if they get too much of it, they're going to get constipated. But really, if you have it in balance and you have it consistently, you can expect to have a more stable and balanced eating habit throughout the day. You can feel more satiated throughout the day. You will likely have less sugar cravings. You will start to, if you're working out 3-4 times a week and lifting with resistance training and weight training, it's going to supplement that and actually help you to, when you sleep at night, let the gains come. You will begin to see results more consistently if you do this more consistently. But when it comes to how much protein to be consuming throughout the day, it's challenging because some people have 2 big meals throughout the day and then they like to snack and graze. Some people like 3 balanced. Some people like to fast. Some people, they do it all differently. But we're going to break it down as though you are consuming 3 meals throughout the day. Maybe a snack. We'll talk about that. The first thing to note is, in very general terms, some people have different opinions on this. Some people say, oh, you don't need that much protein. Like, it's bad for hard on your kidneys. And I do understand that if there's someone that is struggling with kidney issues, then consult your doctor on your protein. Maybe you're working with a dietitian, but this is very general population. Let's say you are someone who is focusing on fat burning, weight loss, satiety, just overall getting your health and body on track. Good rule of thumb is approximately 1 gram of protein for every pound of body fat or body weight, So again, for instance, you're just using whole easy numbers here. If you weigh 100 pounds, you get 100 grams. You weigh 130 pounds, you get 130 grams. Now, that might seem absolutely daunting. That is the ideal. Like, that's on a great day. But if you're fluctuating by 20-30%, and on some days you're getting 70, some days you're getting 130, then call that a win as well. We got to give ourselves a little bit of a sliding scale, because if we obsess about this type of thing, it can lead to a tough time. But what I want to do is break down 3 different options of meals throughout the day that you can consistently, solidly eat without having to track on a scale, without having to measure out. You don't need to bring measuring cups to the office. Like, you can live a pretty easy meal prepping life. But I want to walk you through a day where you could be getting approximately 25 to 30 grams of protein in each recipe. The first one is going to be pretty straightforward. It's going to be egg bites. And this is going to be we're just going to do simple ratios here. Let's say you want to prep 2 days worth. So you're going to put 7 eggs into a bowl. Whisk them all up. Throw in some feta, chop up a bunch of spinach, if you like pepper or tomato, a little bit of onion, but throw in a bunch of veggies. Have a good time with it. That feta is going to give you a little bit more protein as well, and it's just going to make it like a gorgeous, cheesy experience. You will batch those into little baking tins and bake them for, I honestly don't even know, guys, maybe 10 to 12 minutes, and you can chat GPT it. I don't know exactly the temperature. I don't know your oven, but approximately 10 to 12 minutes. These will come out light, fluffy. Have 3 of these per morning, and you will have a nice balanced breakfast. I'm also going to say, do a slice of sourdough bread on the side. So slice of sourdough bread, 3 of these egg bites, and since they have the feta and the egg is also giving you a decent amount of fat because of the egg yolk inside. So you're going to be balanced. You're going to have your carb, fat, protein, and get some of those veggies in there for some fiber. A nice sourdough for a little bit of prebiotic. And I think that is a beautiful balanced breakfast. And you're getting like 25 to 30 grams of protein right there. Maybe 30 is stretching it, but around 25 grams of protein if you're getting about 6.5 eggs with half a cup of feta. So you're getting a decent amount. The next option for breakfast is something that I personally love, and if you're not a dairy person, then we can take it back a notch. But if you're not a dairy person, then just go with the eggs. The cottage cheese bowl that I've been loving. Some people, I have a friend who liked to eat cottage cheese and have some pineapple on top, and it was just like a sweet treat. I don't understand that. To me, cottage cheese is a savory food. I like to mix it in my eggs. You can mix that into your egg bites as well. It's also a ton of great protein. But I like if I'm going to do a chilled breakfast, I will do half a slice of sourdough bread, put a little bit of avocado on it. And then I will do a bowl of a full cup, maybe even a little more than a full cup, of cottage cheese. I have been throwing a couple of edamame beans on top of it, so it's even extra protein, a little salt, a little pepper, and then I will chop up a bunch of tomato, and then I'll do a balsamic drizzle, like a balsamic glaze, not a balsamic vinaigrette, a balsamic glaze. So there's just a little bit of that sweetness. And if you have some microgreens, I don't have any right now, but I just dash a little bit of arugula on there. And boom, I'm not cooking anything. It is so simple. I'm getting fat, carb, protein, and my greens in the morning. And that's at minimum 25 grams. And if you're adding edamame shells on there, if you go to Trader Joe's, you got the edamame shells, you pop those in there. It's so good. I'm telling you, you are going to be so satisfied. You're going to feel so full and great, but not bloated and gnarly. Ooh, man, I want that ahora. That sounds so good. Let's go through some lunch options. Let me break down what I had today, and it was all leftovers. I did a cup of rice that had a bunch of peas in it, and I did have some extra edamame, so I threw that on there. Let's consider that like 5 to 7 grams of protein. Threw some rice in there. I had 1 chicken breast. It was organic. Got it from Whole Foods. Made sure to grill it in just a little bit of I didn't even have ghee. I did do a little bit of olive oil. Did that on the flat top, just a chicken breast, and I didn't have any avocado at that meal, which is typically my fat of choice. but I did some sliced tomatoes, a bit of grilled chicken. I mean, it is the simplest thing ever. And if you want to make it cool and if you want to make it even more delicious, throw a little bit of sauce on there. Get a good sauce. I have a tamari sauce that or not a tamari, a coconut aminos. Do a coconut amino on the chicken. It gives it a sweetness, peas and edamame, and then again, dash it with some arugula. That's genuinely what I have had for lunch this week. And it's been easy. It's been simple. It's been filling. It's been delicious. I'm pleased with it. And that's definitely 25 grams of protein. The second thing that you could do for your lunch, if you are someone who is, let's just say you're pescatarian, you grab, I'm not even going to give a second option, because if you are pescatarian but you want to keep your meal prep simple, just sub the chicken for a salmon, sub it for a shrimp, sub it for maybe a veggie burger if you need to, and add some black beans for a little bit more protein. But a black bean and rice is a good complete protein. I say keep it simple, but if you're looking at protein ratios, 1 palm full of chicken breast, like a big palm. I have tiny hands. So, I mean, a big person's palm, like a big palm's palm worth of chicken, about 25 plus grams of protein. There you go, feeling good. And maybe if you want an extra snack, you bring some edamame. Bring a little bit of edamame with you. Bring a little bar. You can add some protein powder to a little bit of yogurt. You can add a yogurt. You can tell I've been loving dairy. And then for chicken, or for dinner, I have been doing lamb balls, and I am obsessed with these. I have this as a highlight on my recipes on my Instagram if you want to go check it out. You get 1 package of, I get the Vital blend of ground beef from Whole Foods. I will put that into a beautiful metal bowl. I will crack 2 eggs, throw in some organic breadcrumbs. Don't ask me how much. I don't know. Teeny tiny splash of milk, garlic, tons of garlic, and then probably half a cup of feta. And I use my hands. Wash your hands. Don't be dirty. You make meatballs out of these. There's no specific size. We know the size of an approximate meatball. And that typically makes me a full tray of meatballs. And that will last me 3 meals. I will do that with a little bit of rice, or if I am not that hungry, then I will just do it, the meatballs mixed with some arugula. Again, arugula is the star of my life. Use whatever green you want. You can saute a green bean. You can saute whatever veggies you want. But that, again, those are the bases of getting some examples of how to accomplish 100 grams of protein in a day. And honestly, 100 grams of protein, when you break it down like that and you add in 1 snack per day that is, 15 to so grams of protein, you're going to be good to go. You're going to be good to go. We need to breathe and understand that if we're off by a few grams, it's going to be okay, everyone. It will be okay. What we don't want to do is completely start skipping meals and then getting so hungry that we just reach for the first thing around us, and then we break into the entire bag of pita chips. Not like I did this yesterday. Break into the entire bag of pita chips, and then you're like, oh my God, I was so hungry that I just doused myself in these pita chips, and now I don't want dinner. Start with the protein, or snack on a veggie, snack on some bone broth, heat it up, make it delicious while you're cooking. I could go on for 16 hours about different recipes for protein, or just for balance. Just for balance, guys. Anything with a shot of arugula or a shot of a microgreen, and you're good to go. Okay, I wanted to walk you through the one item that truly has changed my mindset. In the spirit of vulnerability, the mindset over here, with fitness, it's been fine. With nutrition, it's been fine. Like with my friendships and work, it's been fine. It's mostly, some emotions there's emotion up and down all over the place right now. One thing that has really helped me was to really clear out what I was feeding my mind. It's truly so insidious the way social media gets into our mind. And if you are someone that's not really on social media, God bless you. Great. That's amazing. I am. And most of us are, at least to some extent. And whether we like it or not, when we get on social media, even if we're on there for 5 minutes a day, we are still inundated with feed after video, after picture, after all of these things. What I wanted to show you was one little trick that I used a trick that I'm sure most of you know, but I wanted to reinforce this. It's how to reset your preferences on Instagram. What this is going to do, it is going to reset your algorithm so that you're not being fed all of like if you're getting fed toxic diet culture, or if you are in the space of like maybe you really want your boyfriend to propose and all you're seeing is wedding stuff and other people's proposals, or you're trying to get pregnant, everybody else is getting pregnant. However, whatever you don't want to be seeing right now, again, these are projections, but not personally, these are just, let's just edit that whole thing out. But if you're seeing things you don't want to be seeing, or if you know that you want to start fresh, or if you know you want to start seeing healthier food, if you know you want to start seeing workouts, if you know you want to start seeing motivation in whatever realm you're in, like you want your business to grow, maybe you just want business stuff within your algorithm, this is what you do. You're going to go onto your Instagram, you're going to click the bottom right where there's the little head icon, and so you can go into your main page, go to settings. So when you're in settings, you're going to scroll down and go into what you see, and it'll say content preferences. When you go to content preferences, go to the bottom and it'll say reset suggested content. And when I did this, it'll say like, wait, if you want to add some topics or add some people, go through your followers. Nope, I didn't do any of that. I just hit reset. It doesn't delete anything. All is good. All is fine. I loved doing this because then when I went to my feed, it was dogs, it was workouts, it wasn't the emotional stuff that I had been seeing, because I truly noticed that every time I logged on, it was just putting me back into this really heavy mindset that I'm working on getting out of a loop. And I actually have deleted Instagram off of my phone throughout the day, and then I'll get on my computer once or twice, or if I'm logging on to do the podcast, that's about it. Truly, it's been helpful. It has been helpful if you are going through it in whatever part of life. If you are dramatically going through it in a certain area, I highly recommend a physical Instagram reset. All right, I'm going to get into my more not controversial, call it what you want. I'm going to get into my third and final topic, St. John's wort. This is a holistic podcast where we talk all about different ideas. And I do want to put a fat disclaimer over here that this is not medical advice. And I know I joke about it all the time, but I mean it here specifically because I don't want anyone to misconstrue what I'm saying as, oh, try this instead of something, because if you actually need and you believe that there's a real need for what we're about to talk about, then please go seek that from a medical professional, not from me. Capiche? Okay. St. John's wort is a flowering plant most commonly known as an herbal remedy, and it's primarily for mild to moderate depression, for menopausal symptoms, anxiety, and wound healing topically. As I mentioned at the top of the episode, if you are someone who has ever struggled, or not just struggled, but really experienced anxiety in a predictable way, or have had the Sunday scaries. So, quick backstory. This past weekend, my sister and niece and nephew and her brother or her husband were in town, And we had some drinks throughout the day. We were having so much fun. We were having great days. Like, so happy to see my family. Absolutely obsessed with them. But like I also mentioned, I'm going through some emotional times. So I've been trying to watch, like, I'm not a big drinker, so that when I do, I feel like my body is very sensitive to it. The days after the drinking, I have, I and I can say this with 100% confidence, that I have not experienced anxiety or that type of emotional swing in a very long time, maybe ever. And it's definitely in conjunction with having alcohol, it being a Sunday, family was leaving, I was sad, and then also just emotions of what's going on in my life. I thought, oh my gosh, I cannot do this another day. Oh, I have got to figure this out, because I was like, this is going to affect me. That is for sure. And I was not about to let that happen. And I'm not saying that there's a quick fix. I'm not saying that there's not inner work or healing or whatever. Like, I go to therapy. I love it. I work out. I have been doing barely any caffeine lately, and so I'm doing the preventative measures for the anxiety. But this was one of the first times where I was like, this is not just take it lightly, but this does feel a little bit like depression. And I truly, I was boiling it down, and I was like, I believe that there is a big lack of serotonin in my body from the alcohol depleting all of my stores. The amount of serotonin in my body was like so low. It was, I was a sad girl. It was a sad Liza. After about 24 hours of that feeling, I was like, nope, we're getting this figured out. So alongside a bunch of prayer and a bunch of time journaling and doing all of the things, I also was doing a lot of research on, okay, is there a supplement that I literally use just to supplement and support? Because I don't want to experience this again. One, I haven't drank since that experience, and that's a huge part of it. I just know that I didn't want to get there again. I was like, is there anything I can do to help to mitigate the lack of serotonin, like that drop that you may feel? So there's this supplement called St. John's wort, and it's said to affect the neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine, similar to how some antidepressants function. And what I wanted to make sure that this is very clear about is where there may be some contraindications. So this is where it can come into play with other medications. So if you are on birth control, antidepressants, blood thinners, immunosuppressants, HIV medication, chemotherapy drugs, and I think a couple of other kinds, and you don't want to take this at the same time. So this is just me saying, like, I definitely did a lot of research before getting onto this supplement. It is an herbal supplement, and it's not something prescribed. I got it at Whole Foods, but I looked up dosage. It's usually taken 3 times a day, and it takes a couple of weeks for it to really kick in, apparently, but I don't care. The next day I felt better. That's how I knew it was definitely like lack of sleep, alcohol, and just the drop in serotonin. So I wasn't concerned for my overall well-being. It was just a really scary day that I did not enjoy. Don't want to get back to. But this is just honestly me wanting to be extremely clear about the fact that I fully understand that there are some people that aren't lucky enough to say, oh yeah, it was just because of, too many drinks one night, or it was just because of, it was like situational depression or situational anxiety. I understand that that's more of what I'm dealing with, and that's not everyone's case. So if there's something like an antidepressant or something that you have to take that you would be helpful, then this is not the supplement for you. I am not on birth control. I am not on other medications. I am not dealing with other blood thinners or anything like that. So this is a reason why I decided to take this. But again, birth control, maybe not a good fit. Antidepressants, blood thinners, immunosuppressants, do your own research. But for my particular situation, for a concentrated period of time, I think that this is a really wonderful avenue for me to have gone down. And I did research on the long-term effects, like is this going to is there going to be some type of crazy withdrawal when I stop taking it? And it's also something that I'm only doing once or twice. I haven't even once a day, and I think it's more just preventative. This is getting a little deeper than I thought it would. Really, I wanted to just give you guys tools because what it all boils down to is if I am going through this, I'm really doing everything that I love to do. Fitness, health, nutrition. I'm outside all the time. I'm waking up at the right time. Like I'm spending time with friends. I'm doing my run club situation. Things are good and I'm moving in a great direction. I feel really so super grateful. But there's just still some of those days where I'm like, you know what? This genuinely is not fun. This is a tough day. This is a really tough day. And I want anyone who has been feeling that way to have some resources. Start with that Instagram reset. Go into, have some protein, make some lamb meatballs. Then do the research that you can on ways to support yourself. And if that be in a natural way, a holistic way, great. But if I'm struggling and I know I'm like fully hitting these things and I know that it's only a temporary feeling, I know that it's also could not be a temporary feeling for some people. And honest to God, my heart truly is with anyone who is not certain of when they're going to come out of a certain funk. Because I wasn't sure that I was going to come out of it the next day, but I was like, all signs point to this is a big one from alcohol. But I know that's not the case for everybody. Seek help. Truly seek help, because it's heavy, and it's heavy to carry alone, and it does get better. It's just, it's scary when you're in it. It's scary when you're in it. You can see clearly when you're out of it, but when you're in it, it's a really low, it's tough. However, for reasons that I'm not going to go into, there was a period of time that I stopped doing the podcast for some time, about 4 months. I can say that by tapping back into some of the things that I know, really make me feel fulfilled, and I know that this is external. I get it. It's like, I just believe that by doing certain things and committing to certain things and keeping it consistent, doing it even when you don't want to, that is what is going to help pull you out of certain situations. And keeping commitments to yourself will help to build up that personal resilience and confidence. Whoa. Maybe it's because it's nighttime. It's 7:15 and I'm just now putting this episode out to go out tomorrow. Hopefully by the time you listen to this, you will be feeling good. You will be feeling in a great mood. But if this can be a resource, if you have a friend who's really struggling with their anxiety, if you have a friend who's struggling with anything, tell them to do their research, but to use their tools. And sometimes the miracles that we need are given to us by people. Sometimes the miracles that we need are given to us by supplements or research, or like that draw towards a certain thing. And you can't really explain the draw, but it's happening and you're being pulled to it. And sometimes those are the miracles that we need, that we're being guided to. Take them, accept them. They're everywhere. Whew. All right. Well, oh man, this episode, where did we just go? This is a solo episode for you. And if you're going through it, I'm right there with you. It gets better, and you are gonna laugh again. You're gonna be funny again. You're gonna be happy. You are gonna be better than ever. And I can tell you that from personal experience. You will feel lighter. You will feel lighter. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Again, if you are a new listener, make sure you subscribe on Spotify and go on to Apple Podcasts. Leave us 5 stars. 5 stars everywhere. It is helpful and it helps us grow this podcast. And I will talk to you all next week.